It's officially fall here, and that means it's time to give my pantry a little seasonal refresh. The garden's winding down, the weather's cooling off, and my kitchen's starting to shift from light summer meals to all those cozy soups, stews, and baked goods that we love this time of year. So today I'm restocking my favorite fall staples, things like flour, spices, and canned pumpkin, and all those ingredients I reach for when I'm baking or making comfort food. Hey friends, today we are tackling the pantry because if you're anything like me, once the colder weather starts to hit, you are wanting to bake and cook and just be cozy in your home. So I am getting my pantry ready for the winter season. It is already cold here in Northeast Ohio. This morning it was 34. There's been a frost already, and we've taken everything out of the garden except for a couple herbs that I need to dry. So it is time to get our cozy season on, and I am getting our pantry prepared, and I'm going to show you what I do just to make sure that I have everything in stock for some of my scratch cooking and also for just some cozy meals, which I will be sharing with you soon. If you've been around here for a while, you know I love a cozy, well-stocked pantry. It's the heart of my kitchen and where most of my homesteading recipes start. A good pantry just makes those long fall evenings at home feel even more comforting. So this is a vanilla extract that I made, and I just took some vodka, I put some vanilla beans in there. I'm just kind of letting it cure here in our pantry, and you can see it's already pretty dark in color. So over here, our pantry is not huge, so over here I have things hanging on the door, and then inside we have a partial walk-in pantry, and that allows us to store things. We also have a storage space down in our basement, which is where we keep most of our canned goods. It is kind of annoying to have to run downstairs, run back upstairs, but it stays cool down there. So like our potatoes and just a lot of our jarred things stay fresh down there a little bit longer. So we also have deep freezers full out in our garage, and we also have another freezer up in our attached pole barn that we keep fish and things like that. So I kind of feel like I'm grocery shopping when I'm at my house. I kind of have multiple places I go to gather things, and I have my little basket, and around I go to get our groceries for the week. But if you've watched my series before about, no spend, budget, cooking from scratch, you know that I'm really big on these kind of things to save money. And we kind of got a little slack, a little lax over the summer and spent a little bit more on groceries than we normally do. So I'm trying to reel it back in. I'm trying to get back into cooking more from scratch. We are not a family that cooks everything from scratch. We do buy snacks for our kids. You'll see, chip bags and things like that here in our pantry. I am not completely against doing those kind of things for my kids. I let them be kids, and sometimes things are just out of convenience in our household. But we do try to keep our things homemade, fresh. We don't eat out very often. I like to cook from scratch at home. I think things taste better. We used to eat out all the time, and I was just getting so disappointed with the way things tasted, and I was paying, for a family of 4, we were paying like $100 for this meal, and I was like, I could make this better at home. Yeah, it is nice to go out and not have to cook and have somebody else cook the meal for you, so that's a treat for us. But I honestly found that things tasted better here at home. We were saving money, and I just like to be cozy in my own home, so I'm a bit of a homebody. So in this video today, we're going to go over what I'm stocking in my pantry for fall and things that I know I'll be using a lot to, cook soups and stews and just some homemade, home-cooked, hearty meals this fall. So we're going to restock the pantry. I went shopping. I'll show you here in a moment everything that we got, and we're going to try to organize this pantry a little bit. It's a little bit messy. I do not have one of those pantries that is perfectly labeled and organized, and I watch other YouTube videos. I'm like, man, that looks beautiful. I try to do a little bit of that, but sometimes for us, I'm busy working mom. My husband works full time. I actually pretty much work 2 jobs, and then we're busy. We have a farm. So sometimes things are just done out of convenience, and you'll see a lot of things packaged in their original package in here, and that's just the way it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through all this stuff in here, check expiration dates, give it a little clean and a tidy, and then we will show you everything that we got to stock up for the fall. So going through the pantry, I found something that is expired by actually 2 years. That's kind of embarrassing, but we have chickens and they will eat whatever extra we have. So these are mandarin oranges, and I'm gonna go ahead and give them the chicken so they'll get a little extra special treat. Okay, so I'm in here in the pantry now. I found a couple expired things of canned goods. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go through some other items that we have in here. I keep like little spice packets in here. So I'm gonna go through, check expiration dates on these, and then wipe everything down. Now, something I did start doing is to have more dried beans and things like that. That way I can cook with them. I feel like they, I don't know, I just feel like they're not in a bunch of preservatives, and it's really not that hard to cook with these. I love these Great Northern beans. You just soak them overnight, put them into soup, and they're super easy. So I do have a lot of dried beans here, and I also have these big containers of like flour and stuff like that for when I bake my breads and bagels and stuff like that. I do have also a lot of spices and teas in here as well, so I have to go through all that, which most of those things stay stable for quite a while. So I'm just gonna kind of take inventory in here and see what all we got and clean it all out. So if you are a canner, cheesecloth is something that is kind of a staple here in my house because I do can a lot of broths. That way I can strain out all that gross stuff that comes when I make the broths. I just bought this off Amazon. And it's Cotton Farms cheesecloth. So it's worked really well, and I just kind of keep that stored here in my pantry for whenever I'm canning. I've tried to make the top of my pantry up there like most of my canning stuff. I also have a space down in the basement where I keep all that, but the top row is pretty much all just things that I use for canning. So I'm going through giving everything a good vacuum, and I'm going to clean off these linoleum floor tiles that we have here, but they help stop things from falling through. So I'm giving it a good cleaning before I put everything back in. Okay, so I got all the shelves cleaned out. I've got to do a little bit of organizing now. I'm going to put things in their packages and then organize everything in the pantry. But first, let me show you everything that I got. These are kind of some staples that we are going to use. I plan to place my first Azure Standard order and do a little bit more bulk grocery shopping and get the big containers. But right now that's not in the budget because that is a very large haul, depending upon how much I get. But I also want to make sure that I'm making it worthwhile. So that is something coming in the future. I just got a budget for that large amount of groceries. But I've got some of the things in bulk from a local Amish bulk food store. And I will show you some of the containers that I put them in and how I organize it. So let's finish up this pantry project. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little bit of what I got. So jasmine rice is always something I keep on hand. I like white rice, but I honestly like jasmine rice better. I did get some lasagna. I would love to make my own lasagna noodles, and I have done that before, but just for convenience, I have some lasagna already here, lasagna noodles. Then I got more Great Northern beans because, like I said, I love these for like a ham bean soup. I use these a lot. We got some potato chips just to tide us over for a little while. Then I got this King Arthur's all-purpose bread. It was $8.57 for this 5 pounds. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. I got some sweet potatoes because in fall, it's just, to me, sweet potatoes sound great. That is something that I plan to grow in my garden next year. But unfortunately, I'm like the only one in my family that likes sweet potatoes. My Husband doesn't like it, my kids don't mind it, but yeah, my husband's not a fan. But we have a couple recipes for the fall that we are putting back on repeat that we did last year, so he will eat it. Then I got some spaghetti. I got some old-fashioned noodles. I got elbow macaroni. Because fall, there's a lot of baking. I got a bunch of chocolate chips. I got some baking powder. I got some baking soda. Some pure maple syrup. So we have a friend that lives in Vermont. He's in his 80s, and I don't think he'll be making his way out here. So we bought our own maple syrup, which is sad because we've always gotten some from him, and it's pure Vermont maple syrup. So I got some virgin olive oil because I was running low, some pumpkin because you always need some pumpkin in the fall, some beef bouillon, evaporated milk because I find a lot of recipes call for this, so I got 2 of those. I got organic rolled oats because I like to make like the energy bites, the rolled oat energy bites. My kids love those. And then I just got some other little snacks. So let's go ahead and package this up into my containers, and we'll put it all into the pantry. Okay, so as you can see, my container for rolled oats is a little bit small, but we're gonna make it work. We'll fit it in there, and then I'll save the other stuff down in the pantry for later. There is something so satisfying about cleaning and organizing and restocking the pantry, and it just makes me feel cozy and motivates me to try new recipes this fall. In the description of this video, I will have a link to download a stocking list for your pantry just to help you put some things in there that are just kind of staples that you can use for shelf cooking or to help you just cook meals from scratch at home. Okay, so I am done cleaning out the pantry, getting it organized. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what all I have in here and why I have it in here, why it's good for baking from scratch, and then I'm gonna show you some of my spices that I always keep on hand. Okay, so we're gonna start over here. I have my red mint salt, and then I always keep some balsamic vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I keep honey. I have this raw local honey. Still hoping to get my honeybees someday. Corn syrup, coconut oil. What else I have back here? Some red wine, vinegar, rice vinegar, and then I also have some white balsamic vinegar back here, and then I got some more honey, and then again I've got the beans, rice, I have all-purpose flour, I've got bread flour, and I've got whole wheat flour here. And then here's my tea collection. I've got my maple syrup, and then over here I have some spices. So this is, my cousin lives in Hawaii, so they gave us these spices, which we use a lot. I have some yeast. I actually have another thing of yeast here for when I make my breads. Chili powder. So I am a big chili person, so is my husband, so we go through a lot of that. So got that there. Then I always keep a soup base, so it's a chicken base, bay leaves, which I have another container of this downstairs, so we have plenty. And then I also have this pickling spice mix for when we do our canning. And then I found these, I work night shift a lot and my belly gets upset at work a lot. So I found these spring broths and these are great. I love this Thai lemongrass. So if you're looking for just, you know, a little bit of something to sustain you and also a healthy option, I like this lemongrass. Okay, so other essentials, we have our white sugar in here. I have brown sugar, light brown sugar. I have confectioner's sugar in here. I have quick oats, our rolled oats, and then you saw I've got the baking powders and baking soda and all that there. Over here is kind of like my baking stuff. I've got my chocolate chips, I've got my icings, shredded coconut. I still need to figure out what I'm gonna do with that area, but it works. And then up here, I have all my noodles. I just keep them all in these containers. So you might wonder why we have linoleum down here as like the base. I don't really know why. We've had it there for a while. Eventually we want to get new because it doesn't look the best, but it works just so stuff doesn't fall through. So for fall baking, ground cinnamon, I've got cloves. I also have nutmeg. That's an essential if you're going to be doing like fall baking. Pumpkin pie spice. Those are some things that you're going to want, and I'm going to have a list that you can download yourself to get you know, a shopping list for your fall pantry. And I also have tons of other spices. I have thyme and more nutmeg, ground turmeric, I can never say that right, and then ground sage. I also need to finish drying out my garden herbs. So I have thyme out there, I have oregano, stuff like that, so I can have my own spices. Allspice, that is kind of a classic fall smell, as well as that cloves. So I have a lot of that for like simmering on the stove. Another thing that I really like is to have celery seed. I like to use this in like tomato soup to kind of give it a little bit of flavor, and I also like to use white ground pepper for my seasoning for like steaks and stuff. So we have a lot of spices in here, as you can see. Okay, and I've shown this before. This is more seasonings that we have, just odds and ends for cooking. So ground cumin, I use that for chilies, more chili powder, just tons of other spices up here that we use just for like everyday cooking. Sometimes I feel like I am a spice hoarder, I don't know. Now the thing I forgot is that I always have vinegar on hand, so I have a huge jug of vinegar. So that's something else that I always have on hand. And then, I'm gonna bring you a little closer here. I've got onions, here we go, and down in our cellar, down in the basement, we have like all of our canned stuff, like the green beans, we have carrots, we have broths that I've made, we have sauces, tons of sauces this year. So all that's downstairs. So what I will do is bring it up as I kind of need it, fill it in here on these shelves. Like you can see, I have a thing of canned salsa waiting to use to go with our dinner tonight because I'm doing taco salad. So I kind of bring it up as I need it, and then kind of just stock my pantry. So thank you friends for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I gave you some inspiration to do some cooking from scratch, some shelf cooking. Use what you've got, and there's plenty in your pantry I'm sure that you can make meals out of to help cut that grocery budget down. Our family is really big on saving money so that way we can do things that we enjoy, like vacations, spending time on little trips together. So we use that money also, you know, that we're saving to help kind of offset things that we actually want to do instead of wasting money on things that we don't really need. We don't need to go out to eat all the time. We don't need to buy all those little Debbie snacks. You know, we can make things from scratch at home, and also it's healthier for you. So again, thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe below. I'm going to have a whole fall series coming up. This is just week 1 of it. Stay tuned for the next 4 weeks of all kinds of different fall content. And I, again, can't thank you enough for being here. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.